I'm here with Smitty. He's a two-time world champion. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Motocross. I was a motocross world champion riding BSA motorcycles, and I raced them in the 1960s. So we're talking about a long time ago.
Oh, the very long time ago.
Well, it was the 500 class, but I rode a 420 the first year and a 440 the second year that I won the championship. That was a 420 BSA lightweight 500 machine, which it fitted into the 500 class.
Were they pretty potent motorcycles back then?
Well, they were the best that were available. They wouldn't have won the world championship otherwise. The machine did all the work for me.
You just had to hang on, is that right?
Well, yeah, hang on, yes. Sometimes. The races were quite long, 2 45-minute races and 2 laps at the finish. And you had to add the 2 races together. So if you failed in one race, you were out of the running. And so the machines had to be fast and they had to be reliable.
When did you get involved in the CanAm?
1972, Gary Robinson came and hired me in England. He said, I'd like you to come to Canada and help us make a motorcycle. And I said, well, I'd like to see where I'm going to be working first. He said, oh, that's fine. We'll fly you over to Canada. And then I got to Valcourt eventually, and there was 12 feet of snow, 12 feet deep. I had never seen that much snow in my life, and I wasn't sure I really wanted to go there. But he offered me so much money that I came.
You'll put up with snow for a price, is what you're telling me.
Money will make you happy with snow.
So you arrive at Bombardier in 1972. What do you do next?
Oh, well, he hired me to work with CanAm. I was the testing manager. And so the first thing I did was to fly down to Nevada where we were testing the bikes. And the weather was much more pleasant there.
It's a tad warmer.
Yeah, in the desert there, it goes dark at the flick of a switch. So we had to be there at 8 o'clock when the sun came up, and we had to leave at 5 o'clock when the sun went down because it was black then. So those were the hours that we tested, and in the evenings we went to various casinos in Las Vegas because that was just down the road. So
all the money you're making, you're blowing at the casino is what you're saying.
Pretty well.
That's good. Coming off of a BSA, what was your goal with CanAm for improvements and bringing new technologies or new engineering into the motorcycle world?
Well, the CanAm engine, of course, was an excellent engine. It was we had a 175 in 1992. The 175 machines were better than most 250 motocross machines, faster. I mean, the engine worked better. And so the aim, of course, was to make a 250 and eventually a 420 and so on. Make bigger and bigger and a wider range of motorcycles. The Bombardier thought, or were told, that we would be able to get into street machines and the quantities would go up very high. But a two-stroke was doomed at that time. In 1972, the EPA were coming up with number requirements that a two-stroke couldn't meet. And so the big numbers never came. And so we only made off-road machines, basically, and never really got out of that particular rut.
What do you think was the demise of the two-stroke off-road for CanAm?
Well, yeah, we stopped making in 1981 was when we stopped making the CanAms here in Canada, but we did make a few in England with the Armstrong Company in order to keep sales moving, because we had overbuilt, and so we had many, many more CanAms in stock than we had actually sold, and so we had to be quite innovative to move the stock without getting into too much trouble. And so the demise was that we overbuilt and we didn't improve the model. The Japanese and the Europeans were every year improving the machine, and we had already built several thousand that we had to sell. And so the demise was that Bombardier lost interest in making motorcycles, because the idea was hopefully to build as many as 200,000 and sell them in the after snowmobile production. They would fill the next 5-6 months with building motorcycles and somehow fill the whole year, but it never obviously got to that.
What do you think is your most favorite part of the Can-Am motorcycle innovations?
Favorite? Well, the engine.
The engine?
Rotax were the absolute heart of Can-Am, and the best part. The rest of it is a motorcycle, which is easy to make, but the engine is the brilliant part, and that's Rotax.
And they were known to be potent.
Oh yeah, very much so. They're right from the word go.
Do you have any fond memories of racing Can-Ams or testing Can-Ams?
Yeah, I raced Can-Ams in Europe. I raced them here in the US and Canada, and I won the US. It was a, what did I win? I mean, I won a lot of it. I won the Enduro, the big one here, but I won 5 years in succession. Is
it the 6 day?
No, the 6, yeah, it's 6 days as well. I was riding. I won 4 gold medals in the 6 days and 2 bronze medals. But yeah, I rode them for many years, right up until I stopped riding. And obviously I've got several Can-Ams at home. And yeah, they're great bikes.
Yeah, what's in your stable at home?
Well, I've got 250s, 175s. I don't have one of the 4-strokes. I didn't like the 4-stroke. It's too heavy and too high.
Right.
But yeah, 250s and 175s.
Yeah. Do you still enjoy riding today?
No, I don't. I stopped riding about 8 years ago because my wife said it's time to stop, mainly because I kept falling off. And after I finished riding, I went to see an eye doctor, and I had a
cataracts.
Cataracts. I had 2 cataracts, and I was wearing glasses. And the guy said, well, we can take those off and we can put a far lens and a short lens in for you, and you'll be able to ride and read and do whatever you like. And so for the last 20 years, I don't need glasses. I did need glasses for years.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you have to say to people that may be thinking about getting into the vintage motorcycle collection or vintage motorcycle racing or the sport?
What do I have to say to them?
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
It's very exciting, and you meet a lot of old guys who know a lot.
Yeah. How old are you now, or how young are you?
89.
89. And when did you stop? 8 years ago?
Yeah,
nice
late
work.
70s. Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really
Okay.
appreciate it. You are a legend. You are a legend. Keep doing what you're doing.
I'll get to be even more of a legend. One day I'll be a dead legend.
Oh, we won't go there.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Yeah.